Be part of our nightly lottery drawing.
That makes sense.
Send your request to this address.
That makes sense.
Receive a $10 lottery subscription.
That makes sense.
Nifty will come to him, too.
That doesn't make sense.
Pray for the children of Atlanta.
Now from Channel 2, News Scene Update with Tom Sweeney and Toby Marsh, meteorologist Ken Phillips, and Ted Patterson with sports.
Good evening, I'm Tom Sweeney along with Art Norman. Toby Marsh has the evening off. In Randallstown right now, police are still on the scene of a barricade situation which began about 7 hours ago. Reporter Wayne Lynch is on the scene. He's standing by. He's live right now, and he has the update. Wayne?
Tom, the siege is in its 8th hour now. It does not look like it's going to end anytime soon. In fact, negotiations with the suspect broke off around 10 o'clock tonight. The suspect is 29-year-old Stuart Gehring of the 9100 block of Vega Court. Police are having two problems in trying to wrap up this situation. One, Gehring has an arsenal of shotguns and rifles at his disposal inside the house. Also inside the house with him, a 75-year-old invalid woman, a grandmother, his grandmother, and she has emphysema. That would seem to rule out a tear gas attack at this point. He is apparently beset by financial problems, a recent breakup with his girlfriend, a recent suicide of another friend. An attempted suicide call brought police to this location in the first place. One of the first officers inside was Officer Richard Fleshman of the Garrison District. He picks up the story from there.
Once we got to where the basement was and we were on the door leading down to the basement, we tried to negotiate with him and try to get him to come up. He advised us not to come down the stairs or that he would kill us. And he was in an irate manner and he seemed very upset. It's the best thing for us to do. We kept trying to reason with him. So finally, we tried to talk him out and he wouldn't come. So he came up the stairs with a high-powered rifle. The other officer and myself exited the house along with the mother.
At least 5 shots were fired from the house right after those officers left. Then police began the process of evacuating nearby residents to get them out of danger. At least one officer remains in the line of fire. He's been pinned down next to his squad car since the siege began. There was very little activity between 4 o'clock and 7:30 p.m., but then twice during a 20-minute period, additional shots rang out. Again, no one was hurt. Phone communications have been set up between the negotiating team and the suspect, but so far they have not been fruitful talks.
His attitude has been very changeable, and one minute he seems cooperative and he states he doesn't want to harm anyone. However, on the other hand, he won't allow anyone to come in. He won't allow us to come in and get the grandmother out of the home. One time he talks of taking his life, and then later he says that he does not want that to happen. So it's really been a problem of him changing back and forth on us.
There have been no negotiations since 10 o'clock. We understand the suspect has had some drug problems in the past. He is unemployed. We understand he does have a prior criminal record, mostly for minor violations. A standoff continues. Negotiations are at a standstill right now. If there's a need for an update, we'll come back to you. I'm Wayne Lynch, live on the scene with a minicam in Randallstown.
Thank you very much, Wayne. Other news, it's now up to a grand jury in Atlanta to decide if Wayne Williams should be indicted for the murder of one of Atlanta's child murder victims. At a court hearing today, a magistrate heard evidence from the prosecution, evidence it claims links Williams to the murder of Nathaniel Cater, the last of the young black people found murdered in Atlanta. The key witness was a crime lab technician who said fibers found on Cater matched those found in Williams' home. Based on the evidence presented today, the judge did send the Williams case to the grand jury. The grand jury is expected to hear the case possibly by the end of this week. Williams remains in jail. Art?
The Baltimore County Council held a public hearing tonight to consider new boundaries for councilmatic districts. The redistricting proposal drew a big crowd, many of whom live in the 6th and 7th districts. A major change in the new map would be shifting part of Rosedale out of the 6th district and into the 7th. And Rosedale residents said tonight they don't want their community broken up.
Prefer to see Rosedale stay intact as a single entity so that the problems that we have fought for years and will continue to fight can be handled through one councilman rather than going through 2 councilmen. And that's really the crux of the whole matter, is to keep Rosedale in one piece.
The redistricting plan would provide even distribution of population, but would break up the community, is that right?
That's right, and it would break it up, and that seems to be the main concern of the Rosedale people.
A final decision on redistricting will come next month. One of the hottest political issues on Capitol Hill is the tax cut program, and it continues to fire the feud between House Speaker Tip O'Neill and the President.
The President of the United States has a propaganda mill going out there like I've never seen. We're going to wake up one day with this country destroyed. We've got to spread the word across America that what they're doing with the new programs is for the selfish, is for the greedy, is for the affluent.
I know a few shrill voices criticize the tax bill as benefits for the wealthy. Well, in point of fact, we're cutting taxes for people who pay taxes.
In the Senate Finance Committee, the president's 3-year tax cut may pass by the end of the week. But in the House, the Democrats are working on a 2-year plan, which may take a while to firm up. A milestone tonight in politics in France, and for that matter, the rest of the world. France's new socialist president today named his 43-member cabinet, and among those members are 4 communists. It's the first time in France or in any Western nation that a member of the Communist Party has also become a member of the cabinet. The communists suffered a major defeat in France's elections, but because the nation's biggest trade union is predominantly communist, France's president worked out a compromise to keep everyone happy.
Now, meanwhile, back in Baltimore, the Baltimore Abortion Rights Committee met tonight to consider the effects of the Reagan budget cuts on programs that they care about. Their discussion was not limited to the question of whether abortion should be legal. They also argued that proposed cuts in funding for programs like daycare would abridge women's rights, and they say Reagan is anti-family.
With the cumulative effect of the cuts that are being proposed by the Reagan administration, which includes not only the danger of making abortion illegal again, but also includes cuts in the food programs and cuts in occupational safety and health standards, just to name a few, that some of these cuts will actually endanger the unborn children of people who choose to have children.
There were about 24 people at that meeting tonight.
Next on News Scene Update, an update on those destructive fires in California.
And we'll have the latest inflation news. That's when News Scene Update returns. Stay with us.
Do you read the same book over and over again? Do you cook the same meal 7 days a week? Do you wear the same clothes every day? Of course not. You like variety, and you'll like it in your music. If you're not getting it from the radio station you listen to now, switch your dial to FM 106, WMAR. You'll get more variety and certainly a lot less repetition. Remember, if life is getting kind of dull, you need FM 106, WMAR, the music station with the difference.
Just plain salad.
Plain salad? No dressing. It is commonly known we have the finest blue cheese dressing. We have something uncommonly better. Marie's. Who's Marie?
This is Marie's with chunks of real blue cheese.
2 plain salads. Right away. Your Marie's is so thick it clings to the salad. Mmm, delicious.
This is the only way to eat out.
Now we really have the finest blue cheese dressing.
Marie's in the produce section.
If you or someone you love is age 50 to 80, I urge you to get paper and pencil ready to respond to this announcement. Now, even though you are age 50 to 80, you can buy life insurance with no physical examination and no medical questions. You cannot be turned down or charged higher rates because the Colonial Penn Life Insurance Company guarantees your premium to be just $6.95 a month. This is the life insurance policy that guarantees your acceptance regardless of your health. So if you are between 50 and 80 and thought it would be difficult to buy life insurance, shouldn't you call right now for free information in the mail? No salesman will call on you. This offer ends soon, so call now.
For free information in the mail, call 800-345-8502. This is a free call, 800-345-8502.
The phenomenon of double-digit inflation is over. That's what Murray Wiedenbaum had to say today. He's the chairman of the Council of Economic Advisors. Prices in May went up 0.7%. Now that means inflation has been below 10% for the last 3 months. But as you might expect, all of the news is not good on the money scene. The cost of borrowing money and buying a home jumped again, this time 1.3%. Rebates are over, so cars are costing almost 2.5% more, and medical care is up almost 1 full %. These are down. gas, clothes, and food. The president and his men say later in the year inflation may kick up again, but for the most part, inflation raging above 10% is over. And it's money that's on the minds of millions of people in Detroit tonight, in particular, whether to give more of their money to the city. Mayor Coleman Young wants to increase the city's income tax by 1%. He says if the voters say no to the tax increase, the nation's 6th largest city will simply go broke. The latest polls point to passage of that tax hike. Art?
It took nearly 2 months of work, but the last remnants of the dangerous toxic chemical PCB is now gone from the Curtis Bay area. Trucks left this afternoon for Ohio, where 43 drums once containing PCB-laden oil and other contaminants will be destroyed. The oil was pumped out of drums and removed last month. Now all traces of PCB are gone from the area, and that makes good the promise to the South Baltimore community of Curtis Bay. Uncontrolled fires continue to rage through California's Napa Valley tonight. More than 25,000 acres of that rich agricultural land has been destroyed so far, but not the most famous Napa wine country. Some 40 homes have also been destroyed by the fires, homes which cost an average of $250,000 apiece. Firefighters are sure the fires were set by arsonists, and one firefighter who had 46 years of experience says he's never seen anything like these fires, which at one point burned 2,000 acres per hour.
And at this hour, state police say they're still looking for 5 men who escaped from 2 Maryland prisons. 3 men broke out of the Maryland Correctional Training Center in Hagerstown last night by cutting a hole through one fence and climbing over another. On Sunday, 2 men broke out of the Maryland House of Correction in Jessup. 2 prison guards were suspended following that escape, and their union is appealing that decision. Tonight, many state prison guards are upset with the prison system. The FBI and Baltimore County Police are still searching for 3 men involved in an armed holdup in Woodlawn earlier today. The 3 stole an undetermined amount of money from the Equitable Trust Bank on Security Boulevard. Authorities believe the trio may have been involved in several other bank jobs in the county, 2 in recent weeks in the western part of the county, another in the Towson area.
And when News Scene Update continues, Ken Phillips will join us with the latest word on the weather.
What is the latest?
The latest word is that while violence is all around the country, we have nothing but bliss here at home.
The bearer of good tidings. We will not shoot you tonight. Weather's next. Stay with us.
The Toyota Celica GT isn't a sporty car. It's 2 sporty cars. It's a Celica GT liftback with fold-down seats, a hatch that opens to cavernous space, and the Celica GT Coupe with room for 4 plus a trunk. The Toyota Celica GT. It's a sporty car, and it's a sporty car. Oh, what a feeling! Celica! Toyota!
We play in our pool while he works on his, because we use HTH, while he adds chlorinators and algicides, plus shock treatments. Save time and money with HTH. It's my primary chlorinator, algicide, and shock treatment, all in one. HTH, the best seller among pool professionals. Spend less on your pool. You'll get more out of it. Can opener!
Uh-oh. Many diesel owners have had their fill of looking for a place to fill up. So Gulf has a toll-free number. We'll tell you the location of one of hundreds of Gulf diesel stations.
I'm looking for diesel?
The one that's close to where you are, even if where you are is nowhere.
Well, I'll be.
There is that special place you call your home, where you all come together, where your dreams come true.
Merrill Lynch Realty knows that in today's economy, buying a home is like moving into a world of high finance. That's why we give you something no other broker can: access to the sound judgment and financial resources of Merrill Lynch. Call Merrill Lynch Realty Chris Coyle, because your home is the investment of your life.
Beginning tonight and every Tuesday night through August, the Inner Harbor is the place for kids. The program is called Kid Stuff, a little people's show with acts ranging from Mimi and puppets to short plays, songs, and jugglers. Kid Stuff is for working parents who can't take their kids to the noontime performances of the Little People's program.
For wee people.
I've never been able to juggle. I've tried it with oranges. I have crushed more fruit as a kid trying to...
Yes.
I now end up...
But you do know meteorology.
I end up juggling highs and lows, and that's the best I can do. Let's look outdoors. Oh, great outdoors tonight and tomorrow. Sleeping weather tonight and nice outdoors for whatever you have planned. Look at this picture. And our temperature, we're at 80 degrees right now. Relative humidity is at 66%. Wind is from the southwest at 6 miles an hour. And the barometer is rising. No rain has fallen here today. Our high temperature was 86 at 5 o'clock. 71, the overnight low came at 6 this morning. We're running 2 degrees warmer than the seasonal normal. It was sunny and 89 in the state 1 year ago today. Color radar 2, there's nothing in those skies. The rain that was down to the south of us has all moved on off. It's cleared out. We are collecting a little bit of water, not in rain today, but we're down to only 3 3/4 inches below normal. For a while there, we were about 7 inches on the dry side. Satellite picture from outer space. Look what we have to show you. Here's some clouds down in the Carolinas, down in South Carolina, and off the coast, while all of this dark area, that's clear skies, and that's what we're looking at tonight and through most of tomorrow as well. On the National Weather Map, you'll see how everything is going to fall into place. Low pressure up in New England with a cold front down to the south. This low pressure area did trigger some thunderstorms during the late afternoon down in that area, while this big high pressure system smiled down on us, gave us fine weather. This is where the heavy stuff is going on. Heavy thunderstorms and now tornadoes being reported. Redwood Falls tornado struck that area tonight, did a considerable amount of damage, no injuries there. Tennis ball size hailstones coming down. Earlier today, a couple of tornadoes, one of them in Grand Isle, Louisiana, another one in Waveland, Mississippi. No reports of damage or injuries down there, while heavy thunderstorms continued rumbling. Parts of Colorado had 60-mile-an-hour winds and very high temperatures through Georgia and Alabama and also in Arkansas today, while 40 degrees was the cold temperature we found in Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan. Blythe, California, Coolidge, and Gila Bend, Arizona reported a reading of 115 degrees. Coming up tomorrow, this high-pressure center will be moving on up into New England. The cold front will relocate as this low-pressure area moves on over into our direction and warm air starts to spread on up, closing in on us. But in the meantime, tomorrow will be in the mid-80s with a lot of sunshine and comparatively low humidity at that time. Temperatures only 60 or lower in the Great Lakes and in the Pacific Northwest. Look at all these 80-degree readings in the big area of 90s, all gone before you can talk about it. 12:42 tomorrow will be the next high tide, and then just afternoon, winds will be from the south at 10 miles an hour. Waves will be running about 1 feet on the waters of the bay, and tomorrow looks to be just another fine day the way it's coming up. Temperatures in the western mountains, look for 82 in Deep Creek and Cumberland, 81 in Hagerstown, and 85 in Frederick. Bel Air, I think you'll make 87 tomorrow, 86 in Annapolis. Washington with an 88 on the Eastern Shore, 82. Richmond looking forward to an 89 tomorrow. Now here's my forecast for Baltimore and Annapolis. Clear skies, 66 will be our low temperature, in the 50s outside the Beltway. A pleasant sunny day tomorrow with a high of 86. Partly cloudy tomorrow night, 68 degrees. Here it is for the next 5 days. Just fine tomorrow, 86. Then on Thursday, variable cloud cover, 89. Showers or thunder showers will be somewhere around the area. On Friday, partly cloudy and 85. Fair skies, 83 on Saturday. Looks like a nice day. Then on Sunday, looking even better with a temperature of 82 degrees and a lot of sunshine. And still can't do it, but I'll stick with what I do.
You know, Art and I were just looking at the videotape behind some of the numbers you showed. Yeah. Nothing changes. The kids are still out in front of the candy stores on a hot summer night.
Playing the same red light and kick the can. And
no, I doubt if it's kick the can.
Don't think so?
No, I don't. More news right now. We have a report on a hot car tonight. A purple and white 1966 Chevy Impala has been stolen. If you have any information concerning the theft of this car, please contact the Auto Theft Unit, Maryland State Police, 486-3101. Do not call WMAR-TV. Call the State Police, 486-3101. A $1,000 reward is offered for information leading to the arrest and conviction of the car thief. If you see this car, do not attempt to take any action yourself. Just call the police. That is a hot car, 1966, purple and white. The longest game in baseball history is over right now.
And maybe the two teams were thinking back, because tonight it really didn't go very long. We'll have the highlights and all the sports when we come back.
People say I have $1 million smile. Well, I should. Sometimes I think I invested that much in it. That's why I chew Freedent. Freedent is the one gum that won't stick to my dental work, and I love that fresh minty taste. Freedent gives me all the chewing pleasure I could ask for in a gum. And where my dental work's concerned, there's nothing tacky about it. With Freedent, the pleasure sticks, but gum won't.
It's happening tomorrow from 3 till 10 p.m. Levitt's sensational 7-hour furniture sale. Save 10 to 50% off everything in Levitt's huge warehouse and showroom. Everything, not just a few pieces, reduced 10 to 50%. Living rooms, dining rooms, bedrooms, dinettes, bedding, chairs, tables, 10 to 50% off. Our warehouse is packed to the ceiling. But remember, these savings are good for only 7 hours tomorrow from 3 p.m. till 10 p.m. Don't miss it.
You love it at Levitt's.
Beauties of the Coral Reef, an exhibition of color photographs, can be viewed at the Maryland Science Center through July 12th. For more information, call 685-5225.
Why does George Brett use Lifebuoy? Look at him. Oh.
You get dirty out here, smelly too. So after I give my body to baseball, I give it to Lifebuoy. Nothing powers away dirt and sweat better. And Lifebuoy kills odor. Gives me real deodorant protection.
George Brett, before Lifebuoy, after Lifebuoy. I'll take after Lifebuoy.
If you want to count on smelling clean, give your body to Lifebuoy.
The Giant announces a revolutionary way to fly your overnight package. On the ground, it's Purelator Carrier's Northeast Connection.
Same overnight delivery you'd get with a plane for about half the cost.
Reliable overnight van service from Baltimore, New York, Philadelphia, and Washington, D.C., and hundreds of points in between.
You don't pay for a plane when a van will do.
The Northeast Connection from Purelator Carrier, the giant of the overnight package delivery business.
Well, it's called the Symphony at Sundown, and many turned out tonight to hear the free concert by the Baltimore Symphony Orchestra. The order of the evening was blankets and lawn chairs in the schoolyard of School 230 on Hudson and Bayless Street. The program featured works by Gershwin, Bernstein, Lennon, and McCartney. The show was sponsored by the City of Baltimore. We're going straight into sports. Art, you're a guy who has covered the baseball negotiations. A meeting tomorrow, I understand.
But I don't think anything's going to happen. Ted and I talked about it. They're going to hold out, I believe, till the strike insurance is about to run out.
What do you think?
Well, could happen. Art's used to seeing these guys go into meetings and come out and have nothing to say, no progress, and that pretty much has to be the billboard heading into tomorrow. After 4 days off, the two sides will meet again, neither side commenting on whether new proposals will be made or not. That $50 million insurance policy kicks in tomorrow for the owners. It cost them $2 million from Lloyd's of London. It'll pay them $50 million if it goes the full route into early August. And as far as baseball today, organized baseball, the longest game ever ended 66 days after it began tonight. A bases-loaded single in the 33rd inning, giving Pawtucket the win over Rochester. Roy Reese has game action.
The longest game in baseball history resumed in Pawtucket tonight. Red Sox Bobby Ojeda set Rochester down in the 33rd inning, allowing but one hit. It didn't take Pawtucket long to end the marathon affair. Marty Barrett was hit with the first pitch in the bottom of the 33rd inning. Lefty Chico Walker then lined a single to center on a hit and run, chasing Barrett to third, forcing Rochester to walk Russ Larrabee and look for the force at any base. The strategy didn't work, though, as Dave Koza single to left on a 2-2 pitch. Barrett scored the game-winning run as Pawtucket wins it 3-2 in 33 innings. The game, which started April 18th, took 8 hours and 25 minutes to complete, 18 of those occurring tonight before a rare capacity crowd at McCoy Stadium. This is Roy Reese for CBS News.
Rochester scored 3 in the 9th inning to win the regular game, 7-6. Pawtucket came up with 2 in the 9th to make it interesting. Lynchburg 6-2 over Hagerstown tonight. Well, John McEnroe was fined $1,500 for his temper tantrums yesterday and warned at Wimbledon if he does it again, he faces suspension. But today belonged to the ladies. On center court, Andrea Jaeger, one of the young Americans at the age of 16, downed Australia's Narita Gregory. 18-year-old Tracy Austin won easily today, as did Chris Everett-Lloyd and Martina Navratilova. Pam Shriver needing 3 sets to dispose of Sweden's Elizabeth Ekblom. As we look at Andrea Jaeger, at 14 years 6 months, Tracy Austin had been the youngest to win at Wimbledon 4 years ago. But Kathy Rinaldi, the daughter of a Florida dentist,
beat Tracy by 3 months today. She's on the far court. She knocked off South Africa's Susan Lee Rollinson 6-3, 2-6, 9-7. Kathy's saying she felt no pressure. She just went out and hit the ball. The youngest ever to win at Wimbledon at the age of 14 years and 3 months. Chris Everett at the age of 26 must feel like she's from another generation. Well, the Save-A-Heart Golf Classic wound up today on a couple of courses. Several of the Orioles and the Colts were on hand to play, and including Colt head coach Mike McCormick showing his touch on the greens. Don't worry, Mike. Jack Nicklaus felt the same way in the Open. Former defensive back Rick Boak off the tee right here, looking a little better than Tom Sweeney did yesterday. Colt guard Ken Huff right here on a pitch. Just didn't get the roll for Ken. They moved the flag, I guess. Earl Weaver wishing he could be signing lineup cards instead of autographs these days. Earl getting plenty of gardening and a little of golf in during the strike. And then after the golfing, the real fun begins. This is how Tim Stoddard spells relief these days. Right into the pool. And the chain reaction there is kind of set off. Marty Domrus, the former Colt quarterback, putting up a fight, but to no avail. He goes in. Bruce Laird, he is no match for Stoddard. Splash. This threesome right here we're going to see Ken Huff, Tim Stoddard, Rick Dempsey. As the water begins to disappear with each repeated Tim Stoddard cannonball. And then the biggest prize of all, Mike McCormick, who watched the others laugh here, but Mike McCormick will get the last laugh comes training camp in July out at Gotcher College. Even the big guy goes in. The 8th at Pimlico today, turning for home center field number 1 with apprentice Greg Smith on board, has the lead by 2 lengths over favored Sail to Papa, number 6 in the middle of the track. Mario Pino up. Number 6, Little Prayer, Ernest Dufton up, moving up on the outside. And then at the 16th pole, number 7, It's a Bitter Day. Carlos Barrera making a bid in the middle of the track, but center field winning by a length with Little Prayer winning a photo for second over It's a Bitter Day. And that's it in sports.
Well, it looked refreshing, didn't it?
You somehow escaped it.
I certainly did. And you, Art Norman, are talking about a Triple Crown winner, sort of.
Well, sort of. 3 bouncing baby boys were born this morning at Baltimore City Hospitals after the mother waited 5 weeks to deliver. That's right, on May 19th, the mother of the newborn infants was rushed to a Washington area hospital after contractions were only 2 minutes apart, but the D.C. hospital couldn't handle the 6.5-month pregnancy and delivery, so the mother was flown to City Hospitals here in Baltimore, where special drugs were used to extend the delivery until today. Doctors say if they were forced to deliver the baby some 5 weeks ago, 2 of the 3 might have died. The mother, 22-year-old Anna Brooks.
Now that I waited, but it was just, I couldn't, you know, being by yourself in that room back there first. I couldn't stand it, you know. But, you know, he helped, my doctor helped me, and the nurses helped me and everything.
Right now she's doing fantastic. And babies? All 3 babies are breathing on their own. They're not on any respirators, and they're very good size. They range in size from 4 pounds to 5.5 pounds. And there's a good chance that all 3 will be able to go home with Mom in 5 or 6 days.
Before we left the hospital, we asked Mom, what will the 3 boys grow up to be?
Maybe a doctor, a lawyer, and a bricklayer. But I don't know. That'll be up to them. I'm just glad it's all over.
Well, the proud mother was actually expecting girls, and she didn't have any names for the boys. So for tonight, the official names for the boys are A, B, and C, and they're all doing just fine.
Boy, Mama looked a little tired, didn't she?
She was a little tired.
Yeah. 6.5 months of 3 bouncing boys. That's our report here on News Scene Update. Glad we could end it on such a high note. I'm Tom Sweeney.
I'm Art Norman.
We'll be back tomorrow. For Ken Phillips and Ted Patterson, have a very good evening, everyone.
Look for the wagon, J.L. Craft's wagon, the horse and wagon with its natural cheese.
When the Kraft wagon is in sight, you know something special is inside. Kraft Natural